Hello, good morning, namaskar, adab, Sat Sri Akal. I am Dr. Nikhil Monga, and today I am going to explain you how to do the computation of chi-square test in the Excel. So let's see how we can do it. So chi-square test for independence. So chi-square independence test is a method for testing if two categorical variables are related in a given population. So categorical variable, just look at this. This is very important. Now I'm going to explain you what is categorical variable. Now these are the feature on your screen. That one of the feature is that there is no ordering, right? No ordering means it should not be like that 1 2 3. Then there is no lowest or highest value, as these are the categorical variables, so there is no superiority over there, right? They are not higher or lower. We cannot arrange the variable on the basis of the ranking or on the basis of the variables, and statistical computation is not viable, like the average of the gender. Suppose, let's say, if I have a data of male and female, so what is the use of calculating the mean and mode? Now here is one of the example of the hair color, right? The red, blue, green, purple. You cannot say that the red color people are more superior than the blue color people. So these are the categorical data. Or we cannot say that these people are much better than the green people. So that do not make any sense. Even if I take mean, even that do not make any sense. Now just look at the marital status, right? So you cannot arrange those on the basis of the preference, or you cannot arrange them on the basis of the superiority compared to other one, right? Similarly, now we have another example on the basis of the gender, right? We cannot rank them, the male or female, or we cannot rank on the basis of the gender, right? Or we cannot say that these are superior. And if I talk about the education level, right, some of you may be PhD, master, bachelor, right, or school certificates. All these are the categorical variable. So if you want to run any statistical test, or you want to do any computation for the categorical variable, we have to look into the chi-square test. So chi-square test tests the hypothesis, right? And we see that there should be a categorical variable. And how we define the hypothesis? The two categorical variables are independent, and alternate hypothesis could be the two categorical variables are dependent. Now if you look at this hypothesis, we can check whether these we can create in such a way hypothesis that in a null hypothesis, as we have discussed in the previous class also, that there is no relationship between the variable, means they are independent. So we can frame the hypothesis accordingly. So how we calculate it? First we need to know the observed frequency, and we need to know the expected frequency. On the basis of that, we'll be able to conduct the chi-square test. So first we have to do is we need to get the observed frequency. Now what is observed frequency? Observed frequency is your data that you have collected, right? For example, you want to see whether is there any difference between the gender and the type of education level that they have acquired. So then definitely unique data we need to ask to the people. So you need to ask the other level of education that you have obtained. So you need to record the data. This is your observation. So the data that you have collected, once you have your observed frequency, then you need to calculate your expected frequency. And this is the formula for calculating the expected frequency: grand total row and grand total column divided by the total number of observation. I will show you with the help of example. Now the third step is the chi-square statistic. How we can do it? This is the formula for that, and in this you can see the observed frequency is there, expected frequency is there, the whole square is there, and the summation of that whole square divided by the expected frequency. So we get the value of the chi-square statistics, as you can see on the screen. So you get your chi-square statistic. I'll show you one of the examples that how you can calculate it. Now there is an example that investigate whether the gender and the type of food preference in restaurant is related, and our null hypothesis is that gender and the type of food preference are independent, means there is no relationship between the gender and the type of food preference. And in the alternate hypothesis we have a gender and the type of food preference are dependent. So now we'll go for the we will check the hypothesis with the help of the chi-square test. So now I'll show you the hypothetical data, right, for the type of food preference. So what I have done, I just collect the data outside any restaurant, just an XYZ restaurant, and there I record the customer, the gender, their food preference, right. But let's assume that there are three type of products available in the restaurant, that is the burger, roti, chana, and the pasta. So these are the three type of foods available over there. So I recorded the data for 50 customer. Now you can see these are my observed data, right. So what I'm going to do that from my observed data is that I want to see whether the number of male they prefer burger, what are the number of female prefer burger. Now to calculate this, to check this, first I'll make the pivot table. So how I'll make the pivot table, you can see on the screen in the Excel sheet. Click to the insert. When you click to the insert, you will get the option of pivot sheet. So you need to click on the pivot table, right. There you can see the table range. You need to select the range, right. So this is how you can select the gender and the food preference. So I select the complete range and I click to the new worksheet, so that it will be created in a new worksheet, right. Now you can see over that the pivot table will appear in a new worksheet. So I'm going to do I'll take the gender into the row column, I'll drag and drop there, and then I'll take the food column into the column section, right. I drag and drop over there, right. So now I am looking for the frequency, so I just put the value of food in the summation value over here, as you can see, and I click to the count. So when I click to the count, I'll get the I will automatically get the count for that. So here is the table. So basically you can say that this is the summary of my observation now, right. Here I get to know that how many male or female prefer any burger, pasta, roti, chana, right. So now we have a summarized table here. Now once we have this is our observed frequency. Now our observed data is on the screen. Now we want to calculate the expected frequency now, right, as I discussed the formula. Now our expected frequency, I already have made a table, just look at the screen. So you can see the observed frequency. Now we have to calculate the expected frequency. So I put here the chi-square table also, right. So I just copy paste the table 1, right, here, as you can see on the screen. You do not need to get confused between the observed and expected. I'll explain you how you can get the expected one. So I'll go to the pivot table which I have created just now. I just copy the data over there. Now you can see I just copied it and I paste the data into this table. So you can see I have done, this is my first step. Now I get the observed frequency table. Right now it's time to calculate the expected frequency. So let me show you an example using this formula here. How do we calculate the expected frequency? The grand total row 1. So I just mostly use the grand total here. I just highlighted the grand total row as well as the grand total column, right. These are my grand total rows and column, and divided by the total number of observation. Here total number of observation is 50, as you can see on the screen. So we need to multiply the grand total row 1 to the column. Now here I look at the expected one. Here if I look at the female burger preference, so how I apply this, I just click equal and then I select the 20 and the 25, E4 and B6. We just multiply it and divide it by the total number of observation. Total number of observation is 50. I just enter it and I get the 10. So this is how I get the value. So so in this way you can do it for the pasta and for the roti chana. Now I'll show you. I just click to the grand total of the female and then put first of all I'll put the equal sign, then I click to the female grand total and I multiply it with the grand total of pasta, that is 13, divided by the total number of observation, that is 50. I just enter it. So in this way I get the expected frequency for the burger and the pasta. Now similarly I'll calculate it for the other one also, right? So this is how you can apply, but if you want to calculate, I'll show you how you can do it for the male also. But in the male you can see I applied the same thing. I just type equal, then the grand total of the male into the grand total of burger divided by the total number of observations. So the answer what comes out to be 15. Similarly we can apply it to the remaining cell of the table, but I'll show you another way how you can do it in much simpler manner. I just need to click to the equal sign, then we are waiting. I click to the grand total here for female, right? Then multiply it with the here burger column. You divide the total number of observation. Now what you can do is that you try to observe here. What we are doing is that 20, which is the grand total, and the number of observation, these two values are going to repeat of pasta, so we are going to repeat for the roti chana. Therefore we can do this is that we can lock the value. Here we can make an absolute cell preference. How do you do that? You need to press the function F. Now you can see that there's a dollar sign here. Yes, you have locked this cell, and you can bring your cursor here. You click function F and now you click enter now. So what you can do is you see that it's much more easier. You just need to drag the thing up to the rotation. I see every calculation you do not have to do one by one. You can check whether your calculation is correct or not. Yeah, so your grand total here should be equal to 20. Okay, so I drag it until here, and you can see the summation again here. I just click on the summation and I get 20. So similarly you can do it for the male, right? I have done the same thing, equal, then E5 column, and then the grand total of the burger divided by the total number of observation, right, which is 30, and the number you are going to repeat the subsequent two more cell, hence therefore you can log the value. You can bring your cursor here, click the function F for locked, and then for the number of observation, the same thing, the function F for enter. Now you just drag, see, you calculate automatically. This will save your time. Now you want to see if you get the correct total or not. Now you can calculate the sum of this. You just need to select it and click to the summation sign. Similarly you can do it for the pasta, roti chana, and the grand total. You can also drag it here and that will automatically calculate it. You can see now we have the observed value, we have the expected value. Right, now the next step, the third step, is to find the chi-square value. Now how we calculate our chi-square value? Now we have to comply the same formula as you can see on the screen, right, which is summation of f naught minus fe whole square divided by fe, right? So we can apply this formula as you can see on the screen. So what we have to do first, here I just click here equal sign. Okay, now because there's a power here, so what you should do is type your power. Yes, type your power. You can see power here. Okay, what you want to do is then you want the power. Okay, so now your new power is, you need to add the number. Okay, that's your number, observed value 8. Okay, then you need a, you can see the number is here. I have selected the number here. Now we have to minus the expected frequency. Minus the expected frequency, that is the 10. Okay, B9. Now just I put the bracket. Remember that there should be double bracket. Now there is a comma and then the power. I want my power required is 2. So I just write 2. I close the bracket and I just, now it's time to divide it with the expected frequency. My expected frequency is this one, B9. So I click here, I get the 0.400, right? So 0.400. So let me show you once again that it's clear to you, I hope. Now how you can do it, I'll show you once again. You just need to press equal, then power, then bracket, double bracket here, right? Then you need to select the observed frequency minus the expected frequency, then comma your power. The power is your 2. Yes, now comma, we click comma and then the power. Our power is 2. Click 2 and then close the bracket and enter. No, so not enter, now to divide it with the expected frequency, right? So here is how you calculate it. If you drag and drop, right, to the remaining part, you will drag it until here, and when you drag this thing down, so every calculation will be done automatically. Here you can see on the screen. Here now what we'll do, we'll select the rows and the column and we get the summation of that. Similarly, I select the female corner and let's see what will be the grand total. So I just select it and I click to the summation button. Here you can see on your Excel file. Similarly, I do it for the male, right? So you put the sum value. Now you have 2, you got the sum over here, right? So you get the sum value. See, so this one is 1.719 is your chi-square statistic. So I'm gonna highlight the chi-square value, and also our chi-square statistic is the 1.719. In order to make a decision, we have to approach. We have two approaches: the critical value and the p value. So with the critical value approach, this is the command which we can use, that is chisq.int.rt. For that I need to have a probability and the degree of freedom. So I can use this command, use this function in Excel. And what are the two things we need? We need a probability and the degree of freedom. So let's say we are using a level of significance that is 5%, that is 0.05 is your level of significance. So that is all, that will be your probability. And your degree of freedom, the formula is, I explained in the previous classes also, that row minus 1 into column minus 1. So this is the formula to calculate the degree of freedom. Now let's get back to the table, Excel sheet. First you note down your probability and your degree of freedom. Now you can see here we have to calculate the critical value. Now degree of freedom, first we need to calculate right? Row minus 1. Now the number of rows are 2, right? So 2 minus 1 is 1, and columns are 3. 3 minus 1 is 2, right? 3 minus 1 is equals to 2, and 2 into 1 is 2. So your degree of freedom is 2. So my degree of freedom here is 2, right? Now let's calculate the critical value. So put equal sign here. Now you put in the formula here, which I have shared in just now, right? INT RT. Okay. So they are telling us to put the probability, right? Remember that probability is equal to your significance level, that is 0.05, comma, degree of freedom. Degree of freedom is 2. You put in here and just enter it. So you get the 5.991. So your critical value is 5.991, and your chi-square value that you get is the 1.719. Let me highlight it. Now I'll explain you with the help of the diagram. You can see this is our distribution. Here you can see our critical value, that is 5.99. So you have a critical chi-square distribution, right? And what we get the chi-square value, that is 1.72, right? So this is our chi-square statistic value. It falls under the non-rejection region. 5.99 is the rejection region, and that comes in the non-rejection region. Okay, because that is smaller than the 5.99. So therefore we do is that we fail to reject the null hypothesis, right? So if you fail to reject the null hypothesis, it means the gender and the type of food preference are independent, means there is no relationship between them, they are not related. So this is how we can use the critical value approach. So now I would like to emphasize, yes, please now look at the decision rule. If your chi-square is more than the critical value, right, you reject the null hypothesis. If your chi-square statistic is smaller than the you fail to reject the null hypothesis. So yes, this is the decision rule. Now the next approach is the p-value, right? We need to calculate the p-value using the Excel, and the formula for Excel is the chi-square dot test. So we use this function in the Excel sheet, right? So here let's see, if p-value is less than the alpha, we reject the null hypothesis. So the p-value over here, you just put a equal sign, right, and select the formula chi-square dot test. Now we need to put the actual range. I select the actual range here, then comma expected range. I close the bracket. I will close the bracket now and just enter it. So I get the 0.423. This is the p value, right? So what is this value telling us? So the p value is 0.423, and the alpha that we were selected was 0.05. So you can see our p value here is greater than the alpha, which is a significant level. So we fail to reject, right? Therefore the conclusion using both the critical value approach and the p value approach is same. So therefore we can say that yes, the two categorical variable, which is gender and the type of food preference, are not related. I hope that is clear to you. That is all for today. Thank you so much. Good.